Amazing. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone is having a lovely evening if you're in Australia. For any of you that don't know me, I am Madeline. Probably seen me on Instagram maybe as Meet Madeline. I'm a regional vice president with Arbonne, and I'm really excited to kind of chat to you a little bit today about, I guess, success, really. And I want to come on here and kind of talk you through my recent breakthrough, because I know that business has ups and downs, and I've definitely been through the ups and I've been through the downs, and I really feel like my business is coming back on the rise as of the last 6 months, and especially in the last couple of months. And I wanted to talk about my success recently and what's changed, because I can tell you everything that I've been doing, but everybody's business is different. And that's what I want to do. Is I like to make my trainings as customizable to you as possible, because you're not me and I'm not you. So I want to figure out, okay, how can you implement my success into your business? So I don't know if you've all heard that story. I'm not really good with stories, and I don't know where they come from. I just hear them. And it's the story about there was somebody and they were running like 100 meters, and no one could break a certain time because no one had done it before. So they were like, you can't run faster than 100 meters in 4 minutes or something like that. I don't know the details, don't hold me against it. But something like that. And then somebody did it and everybody started running the same, like started beating the time. It was that mental block. They all thought that they couldn't do it. So no one was actually beating the time, right? And I had this breakthrough recently, and I didn't realize I was actually doing this in my business, but I was. And I realized this at GTCs particularly, and when I was traveling. So I actually met up with Lisa D. Okay, I'm going to give you numbers right now. So normally I sponsor around 10 people a month. That's something I normally do. When I started doing TikTok, I was getting a lot more than that. But last month, I sponsored 55 new preferred clients and consultants, which is insane. Like, I've never seen numbers like that before. And I didn't know that this was possible until I was in the UK and I sat down with Lisa D, and she was telling me about Kristen. You've probably heard that next level girl. And she was like, Kristen is sponsoring like hundreds of preferred clients, hundreds of people a month are buying the 30 Days Healthy Living. And if you're with her, we'll see her today. She'll probably be if she hasn't got a 30-day sale by 11 a.m., she'll be annoyed. She'll be pissed, and it will ruin her day. Like, she'll be mad. And I'm like, imagine, oh my God, like, I can't even wrap my head around the fact that she would be mad at 11 a.m. if she hasn't sold a 30 Days Healthy Living. Imagine, right? And I'm like, haha, so funny. Like, this isn't real. Then I meet her and she's like, oh, I'm so annoyed I haven't sold 30 days yet today. Oh, and all day. And she's just sitting there. She's like messaging and she goes, oh, I sold the 30 days. Yes, right? And it's like 1 p.m. I'm like, I can't remember the last time I sold a 30 Days Healthy Living. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, I'm playing way too small. Like, if this is her business, I'm really just scratching the surface of mine. And so I kind of went about my life. I told her, this is what I'm going to do. Help me like figure out, okay, this is what you're doing. I'm going to implement it. And I was like, la, 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 la. Then I went to GTC, and my area managers come running up to me and they go, oh my God, you're not going to believe it. We met somebody backstage that was an area, and she's gone region. And in one day, she did something like 10 or 20,000, like 10 to 20,000 QV in one day from one event. And I was like, sorry, what? Excuse me, sorry, what? She was like, yeah, that's how she went region qual. She just did this one event, and then, and then she did it. She did it really early in the month. Surely not. I'm like, surely not. And I'm hearing all of these things, and I'm like, if you just told me this 1 year ago, I just wouldn't believe you. I wouldn't think that this kind of activity level is possible. It was just fairies, but I'd met these people. I knew who they were. I was seeing the numbers, And I was like, right, I am playing way too small. I'm not building my potential in my business. I'm stuck at like, yeah, 10 sponsoring is good. These girls are doing hundreds. And I'm like, what's stopping me from doing that, right? My phone keeps going blank, I think because it's on low power mode. I'm going to turn it off. So I realized that this was a mindset thing, that I was holding myself back mentally. And once I unlocked that gate of like, okay, the potential is actually limitless. Like you can do whatever you want in your business. You can sell so many products, more than you can even fathom. And that's the goal, is to put your mindset there, right? Because if you're stuck on, 3 is good for me, or I think I can do 3, then you're only going to ever do 3, right? And that's what I thought. I was like, 20 is good. I'm doing 10 or 20. That's amazing, right? Everyone's telling me how good it is, because that's what I'm used to in my circle, until Kristen goes to me, you're only doing 20? Really? And I'm like, oh, yes. And that's when I realized, wow, I'm really thinking too small. So, okay. Then logical brain kicked in. How are these girls seeing these results? That's what you want to know, right? Okay, well, they're doing these numbers. I want to know how they're doing it. And there's no secret. The secret is that they're doing what works for them, and they're doing it times 1 million. That's what they're doing. They're doing what works for their business. So this girl, obviously, that had the events, this area manager that went region and did this 10 to 20,000 event, QV event, she was good at events. So she was like, how am I going to push my skills and my knowledge to make these events crazy volume, right? And Kristen, she was a nutritionist. She was good at that kind of content. She was good at gut health, right? She thought, I'm good at videos and I'm good at educating people. Let me times that by 1 million. Let's just literally spread it everywhere. And if you look at Kristen, she told me when she did that video and it was doing good, she said that she was filming like 5 TikToks a day. She was posting multiple reels a day, going live every 2 hours a day. And she was always on her stories. Okay. And she said, that's how I converted. You can have a video do well, or you can have one thing do well, but you want it to convert. You want it to actually see the results through your business, right? Like you can have thousands of people in an event, but you want them to actually buy. That's the end goal. So you need to also be following that through. So these girls were doing a lot of what they were good at. And that's where I was like, really reflected on myself. Okay, what am I good at? I'm good at videos. I'm really great at videos. I'm really creative. And that's my thing, right? And you might be sitting here and being like, yeah, it's not my thing. I can't create a reel to save my life. I don't know what I'm doing. And that's totally fine. Don't run with this tactic with reels. Just because it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. You need to find what you like and what you're passionate about in activity wise, right? So clearly this girl that did the events was passionate about events. You best bet she wasn't dreading doing events. She was like, I absolutely love talking about these products and I love hosting an event. And she went in with that mentality, and that's why those results were coming through also. So that's why it's really important that you find what you're kind of passionate about doing, in terms of like, that's kind of like the math equation to the success, if that makes sense. A lot of it, passionate about it equals crazy success. And practice means perfect as well. So you might be passionate about events, but you're like, I feel like I'm good, but I'm not great. You have to do a lot of it. You know what I mean? So Kristen was probably not the best at these videos about educating people on the products yet, right? But she had to keep doing it and she had to keep going. And you know what? The reels that you see me do now, if you have a look at my social media and you see all my reels, I was so bad at those and they weren't working. I was like, they're not working. I get low views when I make these kinds of reels, but I'm passionate about this and I don't think I've hit the nail on the head yet. And that's okay. So I've got to stick it out. I've got to keep going. I'm passionate about making reels, making content. It's what I love. So I'm going to pursue and I'm going to persist and keep going with this. And then that's when it started working, right? So you have to not only figure out what you're passionate about, what actions you like, whether that's events, in-person stuff. You know what? Like, even if you love speaking about the business in person, figure out how you can do that times a million, how you can make that, you know, your main focus. Okay. And yes, all the other actions, like for me, events aren't like, I'm not burning passion event girl. I love hosting events, but I'm not like, oh my goodness, this is my thing. Like I feel about the creative side of Arbonne. Okay. But I will do it because it assists with my business. Same thing if you're doing events and social media. Do social media to assist with conversion of your business. If you have a preferred client, if they see you showing up in your Instagram story every single day having the glow drink, they're going to want to buy that glow drink, and they're going to continue to buy that glow drink every single month because you're showing up. So make all the other actions. You don't have to ditch everything. Be like, okay, stuff everything else. I'm just doing this. Like, make sure that you are, you know, still putting all your eggs in all your different baskets, but really run with what you're good at. And you might not know what you're good at yet, but you have to figure that out. Like, you have to try a lot of different things to know. And you might be in this business for a while and you do know that and you know what works, but you're not doing that to your fullest potential. And you're trying to make other things work because they work better for some people. Like, you can't do TikTok. You can't keep trying TikTok if it's not what, you know what I mean? Like, if it's not converting, like if you are like, how do I put this? I'm trying to like put it into words. If events work so well for you and you're forcing TikTok to work, do what works. Like, why? That doesn't make any sense to be focusing your time on something and really trying to make this work and feel like you're forcing it when you could put that energy in something that you know converts and that you know you can do 100 times more of, right? So that's what I did. I was like, lots of things work for me and lots of things are great. Some things don't work, but why would I focus on, like, to be honest, bringing people to DAs? No one shows up for me. I've done it so many times. I've invited hundreds of people to DAs and no one has showed up. And I've tried, I've persisted, but you know what? We're going to let it go. I realized I'm going to let that energy go and I'm going to put it towards something that actually works for my business and converts. It's being strategical. Okay. You would do this if you had a traditional business. You'd be like, okay, I've got marketing in these different avenues. What's converting the most? How can we invest everything into that? And that's exactly what you're doing. So I used videos to my advantage, and that's how I'm seeing the results, because I'm good at speaking. I love social media. I love creating, and I'm good at talking. And I know that I'm good at creating videos. Some people are great talking in person. Then you put up a camera and they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. And that's totally fine. Stick to being in person. If you're like, people convert when they listen to me, then get in front of more people. Like that's that, right? And there are some people that you put them in front of and they're joining the business. They're buying the products because that person like oozes passion about Arbonne and like absolutely loves the products and loves the business, right? And they feel that and they convert. So it's about figuring out that superpower. And that's actually what Emma's dad taught me. He was like, okay, what's your superpower? If you don't know it, I know it. Your superpower is videos. You need to run with videos. And ever since he said that, I've been doing that in every way, shape, or form I can. So I have an example as well. An example of this is actually my area manager. So I have an area manager and I don't know I just don't think it's something special. I think it's her mindset. I actually don't know. But when she speaks to people online, like when she builds a relationship with them online, she asks them about their business, 9 times out of 10, or the products, 9 times out of 10, they say yes. I don't know what it is. She has some superpower that people convert incredibly well by her building a relationship with people online. She'll build a relationship for a couple of weeks. She'll ask them, they convert. So I said to her, right, this works. We're going to do so much of it until Instagram won't let you message anymore. Like, you are going to talk to everyone, because the more people you build relationships with, the more people are going to convert, the bigger business is going to grow. So funny how that works, right? She's also really good at selling fish sticks, only fish sticks. I don't know why. The girl doesn't drink coffee, but this is why. She's so passionate about fish sticks. This girl is a walking fish stick. Okay. Everything else she's okay with, but the fish sticks, So I'm like, okay, let's just ditch everything else. Actually, let's just don't try and sell anything. Like, don't try and make other stuff work, like sell a skincare range, because it's not the same if you were to talk to somebody about fist sticks. And the good thing about her is, I don't know, again, she's so passionate about fist sticks. People are buying 4 or 5 boxes at once. They're not buying one box. And I'm thinking, okay, how can we maximize this? Okay. How can we use what you're good at, selling fist sticks, and how can we get more people their hands on fist sticks? How can you be talking to more people about fist sticks? Can you create videos? Can you go live? What can you do to get the word of fist sticks out more, and your like aura of how amazing fist sticks is? How can you spread that further to more people? Okay. So that's what I want you to do, that reflection on you and your business. And that's what Kristen did as well. Passionate about the 30 days, and she ran with it, right? I think where we all get mixed up in our head is, Arbonne has 500 products and I must sell all 500. No, figure out what you are passionate about. And guys, the freaking glow drink, I don't know, I think some people call it the glow shot, whatever you want to call it. That glow drink is my savior. It's literally the best thing I've ever had in my whole entire life. And I will talk about it until I'm in my grave. I will have my glow drink supplements in my coffin. Like, that is how much I love the glow drink. And I am passionate about it. And when we could show like results and I could really talk about it after GTC, I ran with it because I love it that much. The fact that I was searching for something like this for so long prior to Arbonne, and the results that I've seen, it was so easy for me to get those results. Oh my God, I just had to stop taking it for 6 weeks. And then it was torture. No, guys, torture. But I did it for the business. I was like, I'm going to do it to really prove to people that this stuff works. Because right now it's just say and not show. Okay. So I suffered for 6 weeks, and I traveled without it. I was in agony. I remember one night I was in so much pain and bloating that I literally tried to make myself throw up because I couldn't deal with it anymore. And that was like, right, as soon as I land in Canada, your girl's getting a glow drink in her. And that's when I decided I needed to get back on it because I couldn't do it any longer. So dramatic, but so accurate. Like, Emma will vouch for me. That day I was crawling because my gut health was so poor. Anyway, that passion I want you to have in a product. And you know what? That might not be the glow drink. Like, my area manager that's passionate about the fist sticks, she's not that passionate about the glow drink. She's like, girl, it's the glow drink. I have it because it's aesthetic. Like, really, I'm not really drinking it because of any, like, she's like, but I'm passionate about fist sticks. So figure out what it is that you love, like, right? Because that's what sells the product. It's the product, but it's how you feel about the product. Like, if you're like, okay, here's a plate of food. It's all right. Do you want my leftovers? It's okay. Just like had a bit of it. Here you go. You're going to be like, no, I don't want any of that. Right. But if I'm like, this is the best ice cream I've ever had in my whole entire life, you need to try it. And they're like, absolutely. It's the best ice cream you've ever had. And it's the way you say it. It's the way you come across. Okay. So that's where I think when I reflect and I go, you can just watch all these girls online and you can watch all these other people having this amazing success. But that's where I started to break it down. I was like, okay, they're doing lots of what they're good at. They're keeping it simple with one particular thing, and they're extremely passionate about that one particular thing. And that's where the mindset comes in of they're passionate about that product and they're sharing it. And that's where conviction, and that's what's converting. Okay. And that's why they're selling and that's why their videos are going viral, or people are converting from events, is because the way that they're going about it and the mindset they're going into it. Not, like, somebody can duplicate one of my videos and you'll probably see it won't do as well, is because they're probably not as passionate about it as I am. And I'm making that content like, this will help this person. Like, I will help people. And I know that. And the video is certain. Like, the videos are certain about it. And some people making videos are unsure. And it's like holding events. You can't hold an event and be unsure about the products. It doesn't work that way. You got to be certain. You've got to know. And having that conviction is what sells. So that is kind of like how I would wrap up my secret to success and how I've deconstructed the formula myself. And you know what? This is very recent for me. Obviously, I traveled. I had this realization at GTC. I'm playing it way too small. How do I break down these people that are creating this amazing success, and how do I duplicate that? Okay, because you need to customize it to your business and not try and duplicate what other people are doing. Don't try and copy other people's videos just because they have high views. Doesn't mean you're going to get high views as well. You need to duplicate the structure of what they're doing, if that makes sense, the guideline, not the actual thing. So that's what I did. I didn't copy Kristen. I took I took the outline of what she did, and I made it my own and did whatever I needed to do, and then made that into my thing. And that's exactly how it works. You think with if you had a shoe business, if you had a clothing business, if you had anything, you do the same thing. You go, okay, well, what's working for this brand, and how can I duplicate that into my business, and what works for me? So figure out, who your market is, what you're passionate about, what you want, how you want to go about it, how you want to market it, and run with it. Literally sprint, like go. I don't mean stroll in the park. I mean run. And that is why I'm here where I am today, and why I'm enrolling 55. I think I've already done 55 this month. And we're like a little bit over halfway through. So I know I'll end on way more than that. And I've seen even, I don't know if you follow Isabel Furness. She has gone region qual literally halfway through the month. I think it was like something crazy. I think I see her team on here. Hey girls. And she has insane numbers, and she did the exact same structure. And look, it's not going to convert straight away. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and apply this to your business and have that level. Like I've seen Izzy stick to this and stick to what she's good at and run with it for months, since the beginning of the year, since AAC. And that's where it starts to convert. And I know I'm only just scratching the surface right now, because I only just started in doing what I know I'm good at. And that's where you need to stick it out, and you need to like bolt and trust it. Trust and be certain, and don't second guess yourself. Like Izzy and I weren't like, oh, this doesn't work, maybe I should reassess. We were like certain, no, let's go, let's put everything into it, and let's make this work. And we know it's converting now, not to the extent we wanted at, but it's going to be huge. And we were 100% certain on that. So that is kind of my advice and my secret to success, or my success, and how I've done that. But I wanted to keep it short and sweet, and things that you can take away for your business. But I hope that helps. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, taking the time to listen to me and show up for yourself and show up for your business. And I hope you can all go away and apply this to your business and stop playing small, you guys. Like, think big, think huge, think out of what you think even is possible, and believe it, because it 100% is. Thank you all so much. I love you all, and I hope you have a good evening. Do you want me to hand back over to you, Jody? I don't know if you want to sign off. All good?
No,
okay.
Maddie, just stop recording, and please apologize.